I'm not talking about my brother today. I found out he's going to be gone for 11 days. I'd made peace with the fact that my next 10 days were going to be hell. Now it's 11. So his vacation, this one goes to 11.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, it's RDV. I'm back here again for the best of the week. I'm joined by the Geek Easy. Welcome back, sir. And back issue Eric Breen, or just regular Fred Flintstone for those who never joined by the Geek Easy. Welcome back, sir. And back issue Eric.
Not bad.
Thank you for that recap. All right.
I turned it off, but I forgot to turn the volume down. Took a while to start doing that.
Oh, you play my voice twice, you turn them off faster.
Yeah, people can't get enough, Venkman.
No,
I've heard that. Usually from you, but I've heard that.
Honestly, though, that's not the case with Ash. I see Ash is here for Dick.
I hope he's talking about Richard.
Well, our friend Zach here wants to go be known. He wants to be known as Richard now. So we said we're gonna start calling him Dick.
Actually, I saw a shirt one time that I want. It says, "Don't be a Richard."
Wait a minute. Zach wants to be Richard now too.
He said that in the chat the other day. He said, hey, when it comes to, I'm tired of people call me Zach Richard, or confuse me with your boy Zach. So I'm gonna start referring to myself, as Richard. And I said, all right, I'm gonna start calling you Dick.
I'm not gonna do any of that. He's apples axe to me.
Dicks and apples, right? All right. Hello to David Sonovich. I'm getting drunk and I'll like a nice story before I fall asleep. Well, you're on the wrong channel here. Unless actually you say it's wrong day. Come back tomorrow. Hello to Marania, saying it's a story of the guy named Bakeman who's showing off some very lovely girls. Oh, I don't see lovely girls here. I just see Geek Easy and Eric Breen. All right.
Hey, what if one of us identifies as a lovely girl? Who are you to assume, man?
I'm a delicate flower, but I'm not.
That's a rumor along the grapevine.
Well, I wish you start dressing the part then if you're going to identify it. Commit to the.
I am. I'm a lovely Russian girl. Can't you tell?
Eastern European.
As I say, more East German, but
yeah.
Right.
All right. And I think that's about here. I think things are on here. Other than that, well, hold on. We got Canadian Survivalists. It's a great name. I don't know if he's me or you. I don't know. Are we supposed to? I think he's with the Dick name. Zach didn't like your boy. Zach took his name, so he's taking his name. Richard has too many syllables for me, so I'm shortening it to the common nickname. Yeah. And he says it's ma'am. Yes, I'm sorry, Ashley. Hello, Tanya and Quinn. Not many books for me tonight. Shocker, right? That was about last week. I had a bunch, and now then towards the end of the month, or even it's weird because towards the end of the month I hardly had any books, but now I have.
Yeah, the new books have been the new good books have been really sparse lately.
I think it's because I haven't been picking up a lot of the DC books because of the Night Terror. So it's put a lot of books that I was reading on hold. I'm also waiting for the Batman animated adventures to continue. That one's been like sparsely, and then there's.
I think most of the let's say Batman, the regular titles, they're all waiting for them to.
Yeah.
The Night Terrors are replacing everything until whenever.
So it's nice when I have my books are kind of like less because hey. More money for me. Buy more stuff. All right. I'm going to go to my number. I'm going to close for myself here. All right. My number 8 for this week is Guardians of the Galaxy. The whole team's back together, and they're going to try and save Groot. Or you could say try to save Marani's Christmas tree, but for those who know the joke. But it was all right. It wasn't horrible. It's better than the last issue. I think it's whenever you add Rocket to something, Raccoon, and you get his personality down, it can make the shittiest stories better. Just because I at least like watching Rocket. I'm biased, I guess, but for me, I thought it was pretty cool. So the interior art. It's pretty much now we got the whole entire movie cast now. But oh no, it could be better, but I mean, like you said, it's very cartoonish art, and I really don't care for Quill's haircut. I get confused. I think he's making Rapone at first.
No, she's a cartoon superhero.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay,
how you can tell them apart.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like I said, anytime I get Rocket in there, it usually makes the book better.
Wow, Vince Coletta, his time was too soon.
You like how some of these pages like Coletta could erase all this if he wanted to.
I'll tell. I said, no, that's nice, but my God, there's no such thing as backgrounds and like headshot panels anymore, is there?
No, there isn't. No, yeah, you're right. Coletta's children are working again.
and their favorite supervillain, the Living Eraser.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind pages like this where you have few dialogue. To me, that works a lot better for me for certain books. I just don't like when I start seeing stuff like this, where like they get this. Is what this looks like when you see on Twitter. You see like the artist would like they put out like 6 photos, trading site photos. It just looks very amateur. But overall, it was a fun book. I see a person pay for Night Terrors that, and that 605 of it is pulled 2 weeks. It was over $200. Ooh. Or 60% of his pull.
Well, I used to average about 100 a week in new books.
Ugh.
And that was before. Yeah, that was back when most of them were $3.
All right, my number.
Quality of stuff has just gone down so much that I'm just getting less and less and less stuff.
This was 15 years ago, so yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
My number 7 book of the week. It's Gun Honey. Still a fun book. Some nudity in here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like that first spread cover. Well, depending on how you want to define spread cover, but yes.
But art's pretty solid in here. We're getting more of a follow up. We're also learning more stuff. It's like basically, things that you thought happened. Wow, it didn't happen the way you thought they happened. So it's kind of clever on that. Lex Luthor showing up in here was really cool. So I don't know why.
I was putting a stack together, and I had to think. Wait a minute, what book's he? Oh,
does that? It looks like Gene Hackman. Greatest criminal mind ever.
Wow, he does. I didn't notice that when I read it.
Which one is that?
This is Gun Honey. The new one. The issue Gun Honey Heatseeker. Yeah, but
oh, okay, that's the
yeah,
the big boss dude.
And then for those who are a fan of cosplay or follow Grace, there's a whole article about the cosplayer Grace. Stuff that she does, spotlighting her.
The Gracie, the cosplay lass, or whatever her name is.
Yep.
And that's in Heatseeker.
It's an Heatseeker to the back.
I guess I didn't even look through the back pages.
No. Yep. Because she's been doing the cosplay covers for this book.
I did not know that.
Yeah. All right. So my number 6 for this week. Swaycourt Northcots, the North Valley, Vermore, number 3. It's been fun, man. Like I said, I'll read some of the. I mean, usually I take these as just I laugh hot air stuff. When people say like it's the best book ever, this person likes this. Says I love this book. Blake Northcott's has seamlessly shifted genres and proven that she's a master of magic and fantasy as she was in science fiction. Don't pick this up unless you're prepared to not put it down. Mark Millar. Brian Ardale says there's a compelling new protagonist in Callista Scott and a powerful new voice and author Blake Northcott. Then Dan Panasian says engaging, relevant, and poignant. A definite combination of ancient magic and modern mayhem. This has been a fun book. like I said, I'm getting like 90s kind of like Buffy the Vampires vibes.
So
Girl,
90s is having there's lots of pockets and chains on the outfits.
Wrong part of the '90s.
Ah, okay.
Hey, but you
no,
know
no,
what? You're making a good case for me. Kind of wishing I had been reading that from issue 1.
Well, there's
we'll see.
always the trades.
Well, yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I've got I've got thousands of back issues I haven't read yet, and it's kind of it'll be out of sight, out of mind. I mean, but
Yeah, so she has the grimoire, and she's been teaching herself how to read it and do spell stuff. She has mishaps. Like I said, it's really becoming like almost like a Willow from Buffy, teaching herself about stuff, magic. It's not. And meanwhile, her friend is dating this new girl that we learned in the previous issue that was actually an undercover agent for this had a government agent that they use for tracking base. It's like an X Files thing, or X Files / Men in Black. For Hunt, they deal with supernatural threats, keeping the world as knowing about that magic exists. And the one agent, pretty much, you'll see right here. He wants to basically get the grimoire himself. He's gone rogue because he's cursed, and he wants he figures if he gets his hand in his books, he can lift the curse, and he wants to do it by any means.
wait a minute. There's a guy and a girl dating in a comic book.
Well, no. He's not. Wait, the agent I should have showed you is not dating anybody.
Oh, you said that somebody.
Yeah, there's a guy at the end. You'll see him. He's her best one of her friends. He's dating this redhead.
Okay, so I didn't know that was allowed in comics anymore.
Well, it's Blake Northcott writing it. She can, and it's Whatnot Publishing. Also, this is a basic Kickstarter book re-released. It says based on the international best-selling novel by acclaimed author and screenwriter Blake Northcott. The North Valley Grimoire was the #1 bestseller on Amazon, and it Kickstarter's most funded Canadian novel of all time. For all you Canadians,
and that's on issue 3.
Yeah,
I may see if we still have all 3 of them. I think I'll jump on that.
Yeah. So I mean, the first issue, her and her friend get attacked by this girl in this library, and they don't know what's going on, but then she finds out later that her deceased friend, who had died, had written a grimoire, and it appeared under her bed when she came home. Now she's been learning about that, also dealing with a broken home. Her mom's in jail, and just trying to get by. And this issue, she's basically learning how to use the grimoire, or reading it, and getting familiar over the weeks while attending school too. And the other girl, who basically is a secret agent, has been posing as her best friend, the one who was attacked with her at the library, as his new girlfriend, trying to seduce him to get to the book.
It's really not hard for a good-looking chick to seduce a guy.
Yeah, Ash, that's true.
Yeah.
But I've been reading some books from that evil company that you broke up with, and so I was kind of confused for a second, but I'm okay now.
And hello to Phil. It's Rebels. Yeah, Canada. Hey, you guys darn burning over there? I'm not a fan of the smoke you guys keep sending me. I'm gonna start charging you guys. Seriously.
Hey, at least you aren't over near.
Start throwing some marshmallows in there or something, like so it smells a little better. Maybe some incense, air freshener, maybe. All right. All right. My number. Go to my number 5 now. Yeah. Cool. All right. My number 5 this week. Teen Titans. World's Finest. Teen Titans. I tell you, I'm not a fan of this smartphone and all the upgraded technology. It's basically like a better version of Ultimate Spider-Man. That's what I'm going there right now, because it still has the feel of the characters, the original characters, the feel, with a little bit of technology added to it. But this issue, I forgot that. Garth and Uncle Boy, or not, Garth and basically Uncle Boy, Uncle Lad, and Donna Troy were dating.
And that's because they weren't.
Were they?
No, they never dated.
I thought they did because they. I mean,
No,
okay,
this is all complete revisionist history, but yeah, that's fine. It's whatever he wants to do.
They were dating Titans, that show Titans as well, HBO thing. So maybe it's a new thing.
Well, it is, like I said, because I mean, the characters that were in the team at certain points, it's all it's Mark Waid's concept. It's not following the past at all.
And he's been hanging out with Garth has been hanging out with Wayne a lot. So
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
And I think if I remember correctly, Narc had a crush on Lilith, but I don't know that they were ever together. They might have been, later on, but
in New Teen Titans were they?
No. Narc didn't make it out of the crisis. I don't think.
Oh.
Hell, I don't think Lilith did.
Anyway, though, it basically starts off with them arriving at a door, and this other guy answers the door. I'm thinking, like, oh, is it a cyborg before he, becomes cyborg? Some guy who's basically she met,
that's Mal. He was around.
Yeah.
In the original series.
All right.
Yeah, he had a horn. There's and it gave him great fighting ability, but the catch was if he ever lost, he would die.
All right, so Mal basically met Mal, and Mal's basically been couch surfing, but he's been staying with her for a little bit. Garth was a little, weirded out first when he answered the door. Says that she's getting dressed. So, B, I forgot what her name. But her name is really actually her first name.
Oh, now we know why Zach wants to be called Dick.
I think her name was Karen, and obviously code name.
Yeah, I think it was Karen. No, I'm done trying to explain this to people. It's Richard C. Meyer. He doesn't go by Dick. He goes by Richard C. Meyer. But he stole my name, Zach. Not purposefully. But now I'm going to start appropriating his name, Richard. So,
yeah, but the reason why we want to call you Dick is because you started loving DC this week.
Yeah, I do. Unapologetically. But we'll get to that.
Richard Richardson?
Richard Richards? Richard Richards?
Dick Dickers.
Dick Richards. That's your new handle name.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that, actually. Dick Richards. Rich Dickards.
You have a shirt says you don't know Dick.
You could get the Nixon campaign shirt. They can't lick our dick.
This was a very sentimental.
I'll write that with a big pen.
So so basically, this is a very sentimental issue. They actually end up going to finding this house, like it almost looks like a haunted house, but it's actually it's all about a girl basically she's a new meta, has psychic powers, and she's all her worries and fears have been keeping her down and stuff. And anybody comes near the house ends up inflicting everything she's feeling, feeling a freak, feeling guilt, anger, all that stuff. So the Titans basically go against her. So they find out the real reason, and basically Aqualad gets a chance to shine and basically helps calm her down. Along with we get to see Lilith shows up. It was Lilith and what's the other guy's name?
Narc.
Yeah. So they're
but with a G, not like a cop who rats on you for you and narcotics.
I don't know. Like I said, I kind of dig this. I don't really know the full history. Maybe that's why I like it more.
He was a caveman.
Yeah.
Now he's a lawyer.
What a promotion!
Wait, is his dad Vandal Savage?
No, he's played by Phil Hartman on Saturday Night Live.
I know, but I mean,
was that a caveman lawyer?
Yeah, what was that? Phil Hartman? I can't.
It was Phil Hartman.
Yeah, it was.
But then Geico did the whole thing. The caveman.
I missed the caveman. That was a good mascot.
I gotta say,
they should have had the Geico caveman crossover with Phil Hartman's lawyer, having him defend them somehow.
Yeah, like I said, it was a very actually happy ending story. Teaching them, and they each teach the girl how to deal with her fear, anxiety, and stuff. Because she was afraid, and she's I'm a freak, a bully. Because she could first she could read people's thoughts, but then her own worries started being projected to everybody else mentally. So then she just retreated to this house, and so happy ending. We learn that someone's watching them in the woods.
Creeper.
Yeah. Like I said, I enjoyed it. So now this is something I don't really care for, but they're gonna do it anyway. Is Titans? They get invited to this thing, a new thing. Look, a Comic Con for Titans. Titan Con. So obviously it's gonna be a trap. I hope it's. And now the thing is that we don't know who the villain's really this book is supposed to be. Is it going to be Slade again for the millionth time? But
Oh, and by the way, we got the answer. It was an unfrozen caveman lawyer.
all right. And hello to Mark McGrath and I think someone else popped in too. Yeah, I think that's about it. All right. My number 4 for this week is it's a book that I discovered the second issue first. And then I went back and read the first issue today. So this is the first issue. Godzilla.
I thought you read that already.
I read that. I bought this one.
Oh.
And then
You read it, but you didn't buy it. I see.
Yeah. So then I bought the second one today.
Ironic that you pirated something about a pirate.
Right. It's very riveting. All right. So this is Frank Thierry writing this. For those who might know who Frank Thierry is, maybe some of you may not. I do recommend looking up him up and looking at some of his books. He read early stuff. But basically, it's hold on. He loves the Flash, but he's really late.
Well, in my defense, Barry Allen, for example, is almost always late, despite having super speed.
Yeah, but you're not a Barry Allen fan. You're a
You shush.
redhead dude
You
fan.
shush.
Wait, are you drinking hard water tonight? You might be a J fan.
You don't drink hard water. You inhale the fumes of it.
Well, isn't hard water just ice then?
I thought it was alcohol.
It might be. I don't know. That's tomorrow. Though.
Dude, have you checked this out at all, Joe? IDW, Frank Thierry. This is book 2. It's a cross between Pirates of the Caribbean and Monster Island.
Boy, they're just
okay.
reaching to get these crossovers, aren't they?
I don't know, but
Hey,
man,
as long as it's with Godzilla, I'm okay. It worked with Power Rangers. It's gonna work with Justice League. It worked with Avengers. It's gotta work with Pirates too.
So this guy who's pretty much Jack Sparrow he's on his way to be the gallows, and he tells it he's like, "Hey, give me a bottle of wine. I'll tell you a story that's connected to Queen Elizabeth." And they're like, "Don't you dare speak her name," because he's a pirate. And he says, the whole thing with Sir Francis Drake. Yeah, with the Spanish Armada, we actually went to this island, and the Spanish Armada were destroyed by Godzilla.
That dang Godzilla at it again.
So basically, Sir Francis Drake was on a mission for Queen Elizabeth to go to this island and get gold. Like I said, it's a very fun book. It's like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle on the island.
Yeah, I like the art in it. It looks good, man.
Yeah, the artist is Inaki Miranda. I'm not sure if this person has done any work before this, but this is only issue 2 for IDW for $3.99 piece. Like I said, it's fun. It's
How many issues is it supposed to be? Does
I'm
it
not
say?
sure. It doesn't say if it's limited or not. So
I mean, they usually are. I'd be surprised if it was ongoing, to be honest. Well, even most mainstream Godzilla books are limited.
Yeah, special thanks to Chris Mowry, Jeff Gordon. Wow, they like for Jeff Gordon. Answer. Probably different Jeff Gordon though, and Toho of their invaluable assistance. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. But I think it might maybe be only a 3-issue or 4-issue, probably. See how it goes. When I find something I really like, they limit it. So,
Oh, that's how it works. All the best books lately are just limited.
yeah. So it's basically imagine Jack Sparrow, gonna be hung by the British, and he tells him a story about Godzilla. And then you get a flashback to the other island, being on Godzilla. I want Pirates of the Caribbean crossover with Godzilla, damn it. And I'm getting it in this. It's just fun. And I think that's what Frank Thierry had in mind. He's basically like, I'm just gonna give you Jack Sparrow, so Disney won't. And he said they're gonna hang. He's supposed to be hanging at the end of this second issue. But like I said, it's a very fun book. I discovered it by accident. I was like, oh, occasionally Godzilla. I really don't go for the Godzilla books, IDW. But I was like, I flipped through the interior art, and it's just, man, I love it. And they're like, especially when they fire the cannonballs, he's like, bitch, what are you doing? Godzilla's gonna kill him.
Ooh, they got the Final Wars design going on there.
Yeah, because they fired the cannonballs at him. I love it. He's just like, really? And I love the guy that the pirates. He's like, yeah, Sir Francis Drake told me not to fire a cannonball at him because it'd probably be bad. And the Spanish Armada apparently didn't think the same way my captain did, and they fired. And
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Zach, who's Richard Dawkins?
Richard Dawkins, he was the original host of Family Feud, I think.
No.
That's him. That's the guy's name.
Richard Dawson was.
Son of a gun. Richard Dawson.
I thought you were trying to say Mike Hawkins.
They both are wrong.
Son of a gun.
All right.
Dawson.
Number 3 for this week. This book surprised me. I thought it was going to be really, really bad.
You did.
So it was only really bad, not really, really?
Is Williamson still writing Superman?
Yeah. This is the annual with Williamson writing.
Yeah, that's what. It's not
Okay.
Jamal Campbell.
Such okay. So you have guest artists on here.
But the guest artists were really good.
There's parts
2023, they absolutely were.
There's parts in here where there's actually a page in here where he looks like Christopher Reeve. Here.
That's what they're trying to do now, is get the nostalgia thing by making him look like Christopher Reeve.
It's some shots, not only. But there is one thing that really pissed me off. I'm not going to say what it is because, no. I don't know if
You will.
Sure you will.
I'm sure. Well, no,
Here it
because
comes.
who's read this and who hasn't read this? Because
It doesn't matter.
I haven't, and I'm not going to, so.
Yeah, you
I'm not
turn
picking up
turn your
Superman
sound off
either,
for a
so-
second.
Yeah, I'm not picking up Superman either, so I take it
Well,
ahead.
I was talking about for the chat though, because there might be someone who
Yeah,
actually,
Okay.
you
Well,
turn
let's take a poll in the chat then. You guys,
Yeah,
you guys
can you
mind if
do
they spoil it?
polls? Can you
I
do
don't know.
polls?
Can we just
How
get
about
That's
if you
not
don't
a
want-
question
if you
one
don't
guy
wanna
should be
hear-
asking another guy, by the way.
If you don't want to hear it, turn your sound off for a second.
Yeah.
I could do polls, but I have to go. Through
If
my
you're
other-
planning to read the Superman annual and you don't want to be spoiled, turn the volume down until you see me do this.
If you're happy and clap. Oh, that's something else. Oh, no.
I'm just trying to find that first one. First, show that one photo of him. He's coming down. He looks like Christopher Reeve. But that was actually.
Hey,
really
Jay.
good. That was
Hi,
really good.
Jay. Welcome.
But there's a lot of there's a lot of fantastic art Zach set in here. I thought it was really, really cool. And where is it? Right here. Here. This is here's some of this.
So I didn't think it looked like Christopher Reeve.
Oh,
I
wait,
thought
scroll up a little bit. I think the
Down by your
panel-
finger, he does a little bit.
There you go.
yeah,
That-
down by your finger. That one looks more like
That
Christopher
one looks
Reeve.
like Chris Reeve.
That one does.
Yeah.
Not the one where he's flying.
The one on top looks more like the more recent one from the
Cavill?
movie.
Gavel?
Cavill, yeah.
I didn't really see Cavill in that one.
I saw
Well,
more
it looks
Tom
more like
Welling.
Cavill than it did Christopher Reeve.
I thought he looked more like Tom Welling from
So-
Smallville.
I was reading this and I'm like, okay, it's going well so far, and like this is the one that pissed me off. But I was like, man, if I was reading during a time that Joe was, I'd be pissed. There's a callback to Bendis.
Ah.
That freaking red mist bitch, whatever her name is. The mist. I don't know.
Hey,
But-
speaking of Bendis, you know the Bendis had Superman reveal his
Don't
identity.
you shut up. You shut up.
So
No
so
room.
that-
no room in this
I do that every time just to annoy
so
Joe. He
remember,
pisses him off to no end.
so we're gonna go to this. The mad scientists now have a drop of they captured basically the main man.
Yeah,
He's
you
drunk.
best stitch.
They drunk, only to realize that he didn't kill everybody in his own planet. There's still a whole bunch of them out there. He lied. He's the last one.
Cesaria.
I thought it
Yeah.
was just Zarnia with a silent
Zarnia
C.
with a silent C. Yeah.
He's supposed
Yeah,
to be.
When do we get the
Because Zarnia
Chronicles
sounds
of
weird, I
Sarnia?
don't know.
The Chronicles.
Chronicles
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
Okay,
that.
What is he, the White
now we
Queen?
gotta everyone take to Twitter. We need to start
So,
hashtagging
my
that to
thing
DC.
Yes.
Remember when DC decided to? We're just gonna say this. The main man. That's not him. The skinny little bitches is the real
No, that
guy.
was New 52.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no. What
I'm
is
going
it?
back. I'm going back to
People
that.
like to call him Twilight Lobo.
Twilight
Oh my gosh!
Lobo,
So
yeah.
I'm going back to that part, and that's what really offended me when I got flashbacks of that, and I'm thinking like, and then Ash's point, last son of Krypton, not anymore. There's just tons of people now. Same with this guy. Lobo's supposed to be the last son of his planet because he claims he killed all of them. But then again, I think about it. If we're going up to the cartoon persona from the '90s, he lies. I don't know about the comics, but yeah, I just sick of that. And then every time I see the freaking Blue Beetle cover in the back, dude, it's Wilfredo.
Well,
From Boy Meets
Oh,
World.
from Boy Meets World. Oh, okay.
Eric Matthews.
Yeah. The older brother. It
Older
does
brother.
kind of. It does
And
kind
also,
of look
isn't
like
he
him.
from
all I see is Miguel
Cobra Kai?
from Cobra Kai.
He is Miguel.
Batman Beyond.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I don't see Wilfredo, but
Miguel.
No, I don't see Miguel at all because he's not crushing a beer can on his forehead.
No, that's Johnny that does that.
mhm.
Yeah.
Miguel falls off of balconies and gets paralyzed.
Yeah.
Miguel,
Only for a couple episodes.
That's true.
And then they have an 80s montage
or like
training
half of
session.
season 3.
Sir, he didn't fall from that. He was pushed. over
That's
by
true. You're right. You
that
corrected me.
little bitch, Robbie.
I stand corrected. He was pushed by that little
I
midget.
hate Robbie.
Robbie, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
hate him as much. I don't hate
Johnny's
him as
own
much,
son
but
Paralyzed Miguel. The irony.
All right.
yeah.
All right. My number 2.
Slam.
I didn't get that one. How was it?
Pretty much, we find out that she's a solution to the nightmare problem.
Of course he is.
That's
Well,
weird.
not just her whole family, because they have the courage
Oh,
of all the different god things, wisdom and all stuff.
Yeah.
So
Eh.
they're able to there's in their power, able to overcome the nightmare stuff and discern that this.
So can Wally.
So can somebody else that I read about.
Well, it can not unless Jeremy Adams writing it. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Well, I mean, I'll say I read my first Flash,
Okay, so
and I
you know
saw
where
how
my-
it ended. So
You know where my brain. I didn't read the Flash one either. I thought about picking up the Flash one. I passed it up.
oh, okay. Well, I don't want to give the spoiler. That's why. I
So
said
that means you're
Wally's also
faster
a
than the Flash
I'll-
if you
potential
pass it up.
solution,
I'll read it.
so
I'll read it like
you'll see. You see
Yo-ho.
what I mean when I say that
So-
Wally's a potential
so-
solution too.
Because Mary's the only one who had
Okay.
powers in the real world, other than Billy, who's been and Billy is we don't know where he is. He's been gone on I guess the Pride Rock, having a pride.
Rock
parade.
of Eternity.
I don't know. Sorry.
Billy's not
Pride-
important
Pride
anymore.
Rock.
Nobody.
Or
likes
wait, is that
Billy.
Lion King? Pride Rock?
Pride Rock is the Lion King. Yes,
Okay.
Pride Rock is the Lion King. The Rock of Eternity is the cornerstone of all magic in the DC universe.
Damn.
But what about
DC.
the Pride Rock of Eternity?
Well, that's only during the month of June.
It's a Rainbow Rock.
Yeah. No, you take the Rainbow Road to get there.
Is it a rainbow in the dark?
I don't know. We're going so.
I don't know. So
Far off.
basically, for those
Well, adding Dio into that just adds a whole new
Yeah,
subtext.
we went
to it.
all the way to Europe for that last one. Zach.
not yet. When we get to Zach, we'll be on the final countdown.
There you go. I was just going to add that in there with Europe.
No, but so Mary was, because she has the powers of Shazam, she's able to overcome this stuff. And then through this, she goes into their other basically her other family siblings, their dreams, and helps them battle their demons, and then gives them all the power of Shazam. So it basically reminds them what it feels like they have to be Shazam. And then she gets to her parents, their dad's like, it's like shaves him, and then like he's like, yeah, pretty sure my parents don't know what it's like to have the power of Shazam. So, but whenever they're together, they can basically do it. They can take on the world. So she throws her dad into her mom's dream, and then they they overcome that nightmare. But so I'm not reading the whole night terror stuff. I only read this because it's Mary Marvel and it's related to Shazam, and and it's Mark Waid. I think who's the artist on this?
It's not Dan Mora, is it?
Roger
It's Roger Cruz. That's right.
So I want to give it a shot. All right. Before I get my number one, I have two other books I want to show off that I got this week. One I decided to get a chance to read though, but I will be later tonight. This came out this week.
Ooh,
I
like that.
This is done by Des Taylor.
For some reason, I want to start going mountain climbing.
So, for you guys, you're like, oh, I like this cover. That's not the interior artist. This is that variant.
Every time.
And I was talking to Eric about this. This is basically a sequel to another volume, but they give you a recap. But this is the interior art here. It's very cartoonish. So,
yeah. That's like that John Carter of Mars comic that you got a while back.
I'm seeing things a little better, but the dialogue when I've been reading of it helps out a lot.
See, if you're gonna have a girl dressed like that, you got to have better art.
Pervert.
You know what I mean?
Look, in 2023, there's a lot worse than that.
That's true. That is accurate.
True.
Yeah.
And
that's accurate.
anybody that streams with me knows I'm hypercritical of modern art.
Look,
That's
it's
true.
the Gina Carano scene.
Lucky bastard. How dare he die the way I want to?
So it looks really interesting.
It was a good death.
I'm gonna read it. I'll probably read it after the stream. I picked this up because I probably have issue 32 somewhere. I don't know, but I like these reprints.
Oh, nice.
These came out this week.
Very cool.
Did I tell you that I saw a copy of a real copy of issue 32 of that?
Yeah.
They wanted $1,600 for it, rat bastard.
Yeah, like I said, I think they released issue 32, the variant, or not the variant, but the reprint a while back.
33 ain't cheap either.
No, as I said, I was like,
That's like 400 or 500.
But I mean, it's worth it. And I can learn karate and kung fu.
Does it have the Count Dante ad in the middle of it?
It better. It's Count Dante or nothing.
X-ray specs.
Slim Jim.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Eat me.
Well, that's a little bit before Mr. Poffo's time.
Here's your.
Maury Mitchell with his 65 pounds of rock hard muscle.
Yep.
That ad was everywhere. Did you see the picture of the little comic book shop with like the Thor in the thing? Guy's name was Robert Bell, I think his name was.
Oh, the little book, the with the Chris Samney art.
No, he was going through that. One of the ads was that guy with the Thor. Not on that one, but
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He invented the comic book bag.
Oh,
Good little piece of trivia.
interesting.
Well, then hats off to that man.
You mean these?
Yes. I'm sure his version sucks compared to the ones we get today, but
I had to.
You know,
I can
they
order
had,
some
they
off
had to
Amazon.
start somewhere. They had to start somewhere. The
I have an
bags, the
interesting-
boards, the long boxes.
I've got some bag trivia or bag, whatever it is. When I'll tell you when it gets to me, that I found to be interesting. I kind of figured this out yesterday.
Huh.
Robert
Right.
Bell. Thank you, Jay.
All right, so my number one book of the week is a book I almost didn't get it because I didn't realize who was writing it.
Okay, Night Terror's the Flash. No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Madness. Okay.
The Madness.
Breen, were you able to find that at your shop? I tried to see the other day if you were able to find one.
Our
My shop-
store did not have the madness.
My
Yeah, I remember
my
you
store
and
has a
Jeff-
few copies.
Yeah, no, the
I'll-
other day
I'll
on
have
Marco
it.
Polo,
I'll-
Jeff
I'll-
was raving about that one.
I'll tell him to. I'll ask him to order it in.
Okay. I
mean-
was gonna get you one if you said.
Thank you, but I appreciate that. But I said
I'm
if I
trying to.
can't get the shop I work at to get some in, then I'm not meant to have it.
It's
One of the greatest. He wrote the greatest science fiction program ever, by the way, and some really good comics as well.
I'm curious to see where this is going to go because this really kind of feels like Torrent, but instead of the main bad guy, it's like the superheroes team that does it.
That's what you were saying. Yeah, it sounds like Torrent, if it and the boys kind of put together.
Yeah, see,
Well, no.
I sort of like that just because those are all the good guys right there.
Yeah.
And I really like what he's doing with the bad guy, with the bad girl. She can only use one of her powers at a time.
Oh, nice. The council.
the console.
Is that America Chavez?
No, it's
That
Miss,
should have been.
It looks a lot like America
Miss
Chavez.
Victory, Jin,
Some-
Nightshade, or the Shade,
And
Yeah.
Midnighter. It looks like
Yeah.
Midnighter there on the far
It-
left.
Agent X9, and Astro, who's supposed to be like she's a very old immortal.
Wonder Woman.
Around,
Kinda.
but it shows you how the main character goes from normal to her.
Interesting. She
I-
turns
I-
into she
turns
turns
into-
into Alice Cooper.
More like evil Eddie
Ah, okay.
from Dynamite. Honestly,
Evil Ernie.
Yeah, sorry, Evil Ernie. Sorry.
Yeah, but when you said Evil Eddie, I started thinking Iron Maiden.
No, that too.
Their distant cousin.
Yeah.
Oh, they're both evil.
So then, now collected. So Columbine and Mike Dodado, apparently they called Red Zone.
Yeah, I've reviewed a couple of those on this show. It was very
Yeah.
good.
Is that any good?
Oh,
Red
It
Zone?
was. I liked it.
Sarenko
Nice.
loved it.
All you got is I said I don't see him pop up and Ed Brubaker, as much as I like him, he endorses a lot of stuff. Makes you wonder if he's actually reading some. But Stranka, you never see comment on things, so that's good enough for me. But yeah, it was actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah. So I mean, the whole thing is that these heroes are normally heroes, but then they're called on and they're like, you need to do this. It's like and it's a black ops thing, and this this person's he's like, either you kill this one woman, this criminal, or all our soldiers are across seas overseas are gonna get killed because this who she still robbed for the country wants her dead. And then they said if you don't do this, we're going to kill all your men, and it's in our country.
And so she's sort of like a superpowered Catwoman, so to speak.
She's basically is her last score to basically take so get enough money so her and her fiance and their two kids could get married and they could have a nice life together. She could quit being a criminal. Of course, they had other plans and they end up.
This is going to get ugly. This is going to get really ugly in the next 5 issues.
Yes. Previews for the next issue. And like I said, if you're a part of a Black Top team, or just because you have no part of it, I just did this. I was just doing as I was told, and when you
We've heard that before.
Yeah. So honestly, though, like I said, there's I'm looking more to this. It's Straczynski. It's just awesome. Other books I recommend by him is Telepaths. Came out a year ago or two. Check out that book. That's another fun book. But man, this it's a 6-issue mini series. So you can wait for the trade, or you can pick them up. Zach, do you have a question, sir?
Yes. Question from the back. I might have missed this. I know I came in late as I normally do. This is your number 1 book, right?
Yeah.
Did you not get the Green Lantern book?
No. I'm skipping Night Terrors.
Bye, everybody. That was the.
Zach,
What a dick.
can I borrow some of your apples, please?
Please take my apples.
I mean, I'm skipping Night Terrors too. I just read The Flash. That's about it.
You're
Yeah.
married. You have night terrors.
Oh! With the burn.
Only because I drink before bed.
Actually, we should all have Night Terrors. Joe Biden's fingers is near the launch codes.
Oh, thanks for that. Jeez.
Let me sniff your daughter, or I'll bomb her.
Ash says you also recommend One More Day.
Well, that's a double lie because I've never said that.
Well, there's a story behind One More Day. I don't think he wanted to do that.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
he
he
it
definitely
turns
did.
out he didn't, and he didn't want to do.
And that's why he left.
Oh, what's the one?
Yep.
The one where they bastardized Gwen. Sins Past.
Oh,
Sins Past.
Pass.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
retconned that though. I think.
I know. Yes.
Yeah, I got retconned.
What's his name?
Because with Sins
Spencer
Past, like
retconned
he
that on
wanted
his
to
way
do
out.
something
So
else.
I remember though. Yeah, he said that he was forced to write this because of stupid editors. You know,
Yeah,
and that's
well,
kind of one of the
because-
reasons why he
Yeah.
kind of left. He left Marvel for a while.
Was that
Oh yeah,
Quesada?
because I think it was Joe Quesada said when it came to One More Day, it's like if you don't write it, we'll write it and still put your name on it.
Ooh, God, dirty.
Yeah, because Quesada, for as much as he did right in that time, Spider-Man was just it completely fucked over that character. Excuse my French. Just like at DC, I think the only character that they weren't doing well was Superman. So it's like both companies are doing great work, but their flagship characters. I mean, you could argue Batman, Superman. You're okay either way.
No, they're
Yeah,
still
some-
doing Batman dirty.
And you know,
Yeah.
it said Batman was going great at the time. Even Grant Morrison couldn't screw that up. Anyway, but that's for another time.
All right.
Zach, I asked Vangman if I could go next.
for
if you
it.
don't mind,
Go
'cause
for it. Yeah, no.
And now for number 2.
Oh,
The Breen.
I thought you were gonna add another round of books.
That was the
No,
new
he
one.
just
Here
said
are
what he
the back
thinks about calling you
issues.
number 2.
Okay,
Oh,
all
I
right.
do have a back issue. I just gotta figure out where I put it.
All right.
Probably in your
Um,
spine.
From
First, I
Thinking
gotta
Critical
point out that-
to the Geeky Puppet Show.
What's that?
I said from Thinking Critical to here.
Well, it's sort of like going from playing an arena to a small club.
Yeah.
Both are fine. I finally got my copy of the aforementioned Count Dante, the deadliest man alive. Issue
Hey, they didn't have a
2.
comic book about Count.
Yeah. Well, do you know the story behind this guy?
Yeah, I know the
He
story
was
behind
like
it.
that
I
it
didn't
was
know
all-
he
it was
got his
all-
own comic book.
Yeah, it was all bullshit. He was dead he drank himself to death.
Oh
But-
yeah, for sure.
but the
That's
story
what
is
it was
kind
Frank Dukes even got some of his stuff off of him, like the Black Dragon Society and whatnot.
Is that why
Like, it all
Dante?
came from Count Dante. Count Dante was like the original Frank Dukes.
Yeah, well, they said that this is they take a lot of liberties with this, but
I
Oh,
was
of
wondering
course
where
they
Dante
do.
was. He's supposed to be on YouTube.
I wonder what happened to him. Yeah, I haven't heard from him in over a year.
Yeah.
Yes, he might not even be
Dante
alive for all I
and
know.
YouTube,
So,
that sounds
anyway,
familiar.
that's Geekery with Dante D.
Oh,
Yeah, really good channel guy. I did a couple things with him on a couple streams.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Dang,
out
reach
of
back there.
Canada.
I haven't seen anything from him in a long time.
Yeah, he
I
just
forgot about that.
Okay,
You
I had 8 books this week. Number 8, Night
Books?
Terrors Teen Titan. Oh, wait a minute, no, that's
No.
Oh yeah, World's Finest Teen Titans, but you could have fooled me.
House
I'm
of
just,
Horrors.
I don't.
But
I'm
not
not liking
Night
this. It's like everything he's doing right in World's Finest. I feel like he's doing wrong here. He's like, we always make fun of Bob Haney for being a middle-aged man trying to act like hip kids. kind of getting the same feeling from Wade, and I don't know. It's just it's not hitting for me. Well, Danger Street, 2/3 of the way home, and I have not dropped it
Wow.
because Tom King hasn't dropped the ball yet. It's not great. It's just like each one's like a setup issue, but it's compelling enough. My only problem is all the characters swear like sailors, but they're beeped out. They're bleeped out, but it's like, I stopped being impressed with swearing in comics when I don't know. But
in their defense, they're trapped inside a Tom King book.
I'm liking it. I said it's better than Night Terror's Teen Titans.
Now all your opinions are skewed because you're reading Tom King.
No,
can't trust you anymore.
No.
Could he go all the way?
See, here's the difference. I won't automatically discount something because the rest of his output has pissed me off or been shit. If somebody does something that I think is good, I will say so. And if somebody that's usually good does something that's not good,
yeah,
I will say so.
Like I said, I've never liked Tom King stuff. I hate his Batman.
Well, I mean, but this
I hope he's good, but on something good. It's all that matters.
I heard his Vision miniseries was supposed.
That's kind of what pushed him into prominence. Was
Vision? Yeah, that was
series
like
got him acclaim.
I guarantee I would have hated that because I was reading the Vision when he was the Vision.
Yeah,
and this version of it, man. Number 6, Superman Annual.
Nice.
Had its ups, had its downs. The Parasite thing was kind of clever. I mean, it's kind of amusing. I didn't read Joe's favorite Superman writer's arc, so I don't know this Red Wire, Red Way, whatever the hell that is. So I didn't know whether to be. I should ask Joe. You did a deep dive into Bendis to Superman. What can you tell me about that character?
About which
he knew that Superman was Clark Kent.
Yeah, it was about time that a quality writer rectified that.
I'm assuming that character is from during the Leviathan events. That's all I know.
Yeah, I we should just pretend none of that ever happened.
But, I try to.
I like this. It has some good art. I mean, I kind of, I like the. It's to me, it's never going to be Byrne, Wolfman, Stern.
No.
It's never going to be even Jurgens and Tomasi. But it's better than I thought.
If they can get him feeling like Superman, that's all that matters.
After Joe's boy Bendis got a hold of him, this is better than I could have expected to ever have again. So I'm all right.
I mean, with Lois Lane and her getting on assignments and all, it's got to be way better than watching My Adventures of Superman.
I've actually not. I don't have anything bad to say about it.
Number 5.
I haven't seen it at all.
Yeah.
Night Terror's Green Lantern. I like this because, I mean, this event is just. I can't. I mean, I'm not reading it, so I can't. I'm going to say, I gotta believe it's just pretty mundane across the board. And as I said, I liked it better when it was Blackest Night or blah blah blah. But this was a good writer writing a character that he's really coming to care about. And we just got to see him kick the shit out of his nightmares. And I just like that. There was something about this. It was just fun watching. I mean, it was like watching a squash match in Georgia Championship Wrestling in 1982. But it was fun. I liked it. And the backup story, I could take Sinestro either way. This is one of the few DC books that I'm reading, so I will see where that goes. And I said, thumbs up. This was good.
Yes.
All right.
Calm down there, Ted Lasso.
Breen and me are on the same page.
Number 4, Heat Seeker. I don't know if you knew this, but everybody's a lesbian.
I am.
I like this, but I've read Charles Ardai's a couple of his novels, and I don't remember him trying this hard to be whatever it is he's trying to be. But it's like it's all lesbians, and I guess I know we're not allowed to call people transvestites anymore, but what else do you call that little
boy
fruit cup that was running around? Because he's not living as a woman, but he dressed as one, and he was Lady Gaga for Halloween, so this is nothing. But it's just like I said, it's and because you know the assassin that killed the guy, you know she's a lesbian. She'll sleep with her before this series is over. It's like, and it's I mean, it's got good art. It's got a decent story, and I like what happened at the end. And yes, she will be revealed as a lesbian. But I said I don't know. It's just that was kind of my knock on the first series. That's like they try too hard to shove that point home. But I guess that's just the way this series is going to be.
I have a feeling that it's going to just reveal at the end that that Charles Adai is one of those fake pen names for Greg Rucka.
No, Charles Ardai is actually the editor of Hard Case, the book line.
Yeah.
So like Hard Case Crime is kind of his baby. Let's see, that was 4. Number 3, Scarlet Couture. This was fun. I mean, I didn't read the first series, so I'm kind of catching up. I mean, apparently there's these ladies are tasked to stop someone who basically has set up an island where they're not bound by any laws, regulations, and they basically have it set up to where they could be like a superpower. They've got so much whatever, but I guess one of the girls knows too much, or they know too much, so an assassin is sent to take them out. I won't say what happens after that, but if you can get past the slightly cartoonish art, it's a good enough story. It kind of, I'm not going to say it feels like Danger Girl, but whoever wrote this has read that. So and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean, there's a little bit of, there's a sense of fun, but this is a little more serious than Danger Girl ever got. So We'll see where that goes. Number 2, The Enfield Gang Massacre. This is from that Texas Blood universe series set in the 1875, based in historical fact. It's basically the West is starting to change, getting more civilized. People are starting to crave law and order, and there's this guy, this Enfield, who robs a bank the first of every month when they get their money, and the guy at the bank says, "Look, things are changing. They're going to get you eventually." He goes, "Why don't you come to work for me?" He goes, "Nobody's going to rob a bank with you protecting it." And he kind of dismisses it and takes the money and runs. Well, the guy at the bank is found brutally murdered. And everybody, of course, thinks that this guy did it. So now the sheriff has come after him, and he tracks him down. And the first issue ends with the sheriff finding him. This was excellent. I'm kicking myself. I stopped reading that Texas Blood when I basically stopped reading comics altogether. But like I said, and you don't need to have read that to know this, obviously. But there's some a couple of text pages in the back that kind of explains what this was based on historically, and this was excellent. This may have this might have even been better than this, but it's pretty close. Barnstormers, my number 1.
I started to read that when it was digital only.
Yeah,
that's Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder.
Yeah.
It's a series, Ash. I think I don't know how many issues it didn't say or I didn't notice, but it ended on a cliffhanger. So I think it's at least 3. And this is a 3-issue series, double sized, for $5. Basically, this guy he may or may not be an escaped mental patient, but one of the guys he was in a facility with was a barnstormer, and he kind of taught him how to do things. And when that guy died, so this guy kind of like assumed his identity.
Is this the one where him and the girl are on the run?
Yes.
Okay, I've read it.
Yeah, and he basically meets this girl and then runs into her again. It turns out it's at her wedding, which he completely fucks up by basically crashing his plane into it. and he thinks the event is for him, but it's actually for her wedding. But she ends up running off with him because they basically chain him up in the garage, and she frees him and takes off because turns out she's a poor girl whose family lives on the land of a rich family who basically said, your hot daughter either marries me or I ruin you. And she's had enough, so she runs off with this guy, and the guy is, obviously he's in pursuit, and he hires a Pinkerton to stop him. And you find out very early in the first issue that they're both going to die because the guy narrating it says it's just like how it gets to that point is the drama of the series.
Yeah,
excellent writing. And I'm not a Scott Snyder fan because I kept waiting for this Barnstormer to like have its roots millions of years ago in a Barnstormer cave next to a bunch of bats in like the court of Barnstormers. But we didn't get any of that. And
that'll be in the second book.
Yes. And the art is really good. I don't know. I've never heard of this artist, but it's really good. So
she's really good. Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah, so that's
in the second issue, he puts on a dress, and she takes the lead.
She's part of the quarterback.
What is that a jab at?
Okay, so a couple other things I picked up. You said I do have a back issue.
Oh.
I debate about getting that today. Almost, yeah.
Alter Ego, Irv Novick edition.
Cool.
I know that Joe is a Wally, not a Barry guy, but Irv Novick did the art on a ton of flashes.
Man, Bubba Wallace is triggered by that photo.
And Retro Fan, which is a really fun book. If you're my age, I mean, this is absolutely aimed at my demo. And
yeah, I was looking at that.
It's a lot of fun, 60s and 70s, and a lot of stuff that you'd recognize, but
entertainment stuff.
Yeah, if you're of a certain age, though, it's really, really, I said I didn't know about this at first, but glad I do now. And so 8 new books, kids.
That's a lot.
Yeah, nice.
Well done.
We broke him.
Yeah, we wore him down, guys.
Well, there's actually like a friend of mine recommended Barnstormers because I can't remember what I was recommending to him. I think it was something I'd gotten from Ash, and he in turn recommended Barnstormers. Oh yeah, I was recommending the new Brubaker book, the new hardcover.
Oh yeah, the new one that just came out.
Came out about a month ago.
Yeah.
He told me about Barnstormers, which had just come out, and then I read that Tuesday, I think, because I forgot I had it because I had another room, and as I was explaining to Venkman, I spent all day trying to find this room again, and so things kind of got lost. I go, oh yeah, I bought Barnstormers, so I read it. I said, this is really
hey, there's a half-eaten sandwich I had before.
Yeah, well, no, I've had too many mice run through here. I do make sure there's no food around, but
well, there was. That's gone now.
Yeah, but anyway,
the cheeseburger's moving across the room.
But yeah, I said, I've noticed that when with comics, it's like anything else. If you can find a couple things to get started, other things start looking better. Mm-hmm. It's like if you can't find the one. Yeah, that's when I miss out on things I probably would have liked because I get that. I don't care about any of that stuff. But yeah, it's just like when I go to comic shows. Once I start buying from the first booth, they all look good. It's like I don't know if it's just.
I'm at the point where I want to have all these comic books, but I'm also at the point of thinking like, if I ever have to move, it's a lot of books I have to move. I just moved about 6 boxes upstairs, rearranging them, and I still got 10 behind me.
Hey, Joe.
I mean, I moved to a different country with 9 crates of comics.
I was just going to say, talk to Joe about that.
Wait a second. Venkman, may I real quick?
Yeah.
Jackson, pretend this is a pixel finger.
See, I was confused because I'm like, Barnstormers, was this a sequel? And then I realized, it's just the digital one. It's
the digital, it's the physical release of the digital one.
I read it online because I
Yeah.
thought it was a physical. I was gonna go look at the book, but now now it's finally in physical. So I'll pick up the trade when it gets.
Yeah, I was about to say, I definitely.
Yeah, because I believe that's part of Scott Snyder's digital first deal
And
that he
it was-
got.
It was on Comixology, I think.
Yeah.
That's quite profound, my indie brother. But really, like I said, there's I mean, myself personally, I said, yeah, I know, Ash, probably nobody here would agree with me. I will still take the '80s as the as the era for indies, but the one we're in right now ain't bad.
It ain't too shabby.
Yeah, in fact, I'd say it's
No, the indies have actually been pretty good.
And I only
have
say
been
that about the
popping
'80s
off, yeah.
because indies used to be continuing series like Badger, Nexus,
Right.
Grimjack, Sable. All those lasted well over 50 issues.
Right.
It's a different
right.
landscape now.
Yeah,
But as far as like miniseries that you can sink your teeth into and really get into this, I think this is best it's been in decades. I honestly do.
I mean, when the big
Yeah,
two
for the
start sucking
independents.
real bad, you start noticing all the good books that are out there.
Well, I said, I mean, the main company of the industry, in my opinion, is shit from top to bottom. Yeah, I said it's so bad to me that Moon Knight. I need more than Moon Knight to, because I said whenever I
and they're
talk
killing
about
him off to it on top of it.
whenever I bash Marvel, the only thing I hear back is, yeah, but Moon Knight. If that's the only thing you've got to highlight,
Yeah.
your company is in the toilet. And
I actually saw a CBR article earlier today about how Marvel is behind, like DC and Indies, specifically Image, but Indies in general are getting more excitement than Marvel is.
Yeah, but Marvel's still getting more market share because,
Well,
like I said,
they're Disney.
as I've said a million times, there's no such thing as a DC zombie or an indie zombie. But the reason why Marvel Zombies is a thing is because, well, they exist.
Marvel has 2 good books right now. Moon Knight and the new Hulk series. That's it.
I disagree.
I
I'd say
might have a few things to add to that list.
I would say Blade right now is better than Moon Knight.
Yes.
Blade's had one issue. Calm down.
Well,
That
but
says a lot, though.
Blade's being written by an actual writer who's done well in comics and outside of comics, so I trust him to. I mean, not enough to read it because it's Marvel.
And once again, it makes you. Once again, it proves that Wesley Blade, Wesley Snipes Blade, Wesley Snipes is the best Blade. So they do. If they're going to do a movie that's not Wesley Snipes, I don't think it's going to do well. But
they have like 800 different versions of the script, so it's going to be good, right?
I'd rather have a 90-year-old Wesley Snipes coming on doing a movie as Blade Senior. I don't give a shit.
I don't know. All I recall is what is it? The new Blade is that Marshall Ali like.
Oh, he dropped
production has halted because he hates all of the scripts that were presented to him.
Well, he dropped out of the film. He quit.
Yeah.
Oh, he quit altogether now?
He quit.
Okay.
He walked away from it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember reading something like it was a whole thing where it wasn't really about Blade. They just wanted to introduce Blade's daughter in film.
Yeah.
And that was kind of his whole thing was like, wait, so I'm already being replaced even though I haven't been introduced yet.
Yeah, he's a single dad.
Sounds like the same role they gave him in Luke Cage because he was Cottonmouth and everyone was like, "Wow, he's a really cool villain," and then they killed him off.
Well, I'm guessing that given his cachet and acting at that point, because he'd been on House of Cards and et cetera, I'm guessing that might have been his choice.
Yeah,
so I'll come in and give you 6 or 7 episodes, but then
maybe.
That'd be my guess because he was he's a bigger star than Mike Coulter.
Yeah,
So, I mean he was the biggest star attached to that, except for maybe who was it that played oh god, she was gigantically fat in the comics, but
Amanda Waller,
Black Mariah, huh?
Black Mariah, yeah, who played her in that? Because that was a name actress.
Black Mariah.
Yeah,
it wasn't Viola Davis.
I know the actress. I know the actress. I'm like a picture of her, but I cannot remember her name off the top of my head.
Oh, isn't she the one that played? She was on True Blood, I think, as the mother on True Blood. I think.
Maybe, she was like, what is her? Mariah Stokes.
She was
What's the character
played
name?
by Hold on one
Alfred Woodward.
Alfred
Alfred
Woodard.
Woodard. Yeah,
there
there
we
you
go.
go.
Woodward, yeah.
Yeah, like she
Yep.
goes back. Like she was in The Color Purple, that Oprah movie, I think.
Oh wow.
She's been around.
Oh,
She
she
was
was in that.
also she was
Heart
also
and
in
Souls
Civil
with
War.
Robert Downey Jr.
She was in Civil War with Robert Downey Jr. too. She's the mom
Yeah.
that like blamed Iron Man for her
Mhm.
kid dying.
She's also in Star Trek.
She's also apparently she's also married to Roderick Spencer, who looks like Craig Ferguson's brother. Go look at this guy.
Okay, that's random.
Well, no, I pulled up. I did a Google search, and the first thing it shows is like her spouse is like, oh
It's just the way you said it. It's like, looks like Craig Ferguson's father.
no, he looks like Craig Ferguson's like brother in that photo. So, but anyway,
Oh no, when
though,
he said father, I just pictured like a 98-year-old guy, just all frail and.
But before I said, and you can take me off of the big screen here because
who's going next? Then I'll throw them up.
But just remember something. As anybody reaches for any reason to defend Marvel, I just want to say, Mr. Emma Frost.
Yeah,
Like I said,
yeah,
I'll-
Mr. Emma Frost.
I will
the mic
wait
drop.
I will wait to see what actually happens because Marvel and DC like to do shit like this, and then it doesn't matter.
Even if it,
Do you mean
even if they don't make it official with the name, you know damn well he's going to be Mr. Emma Frost.
You mean
No,
like
as far as them even being married, it's a whole.
You mean they like to do stuff like kill one of their most popular characters and then advertise her, put her in advertisements before they even have her come back to life?
For all I know, this is a whole lure of people coming in like, oh, we're gonna get married, and then they don't even get married.
Somebody asked me the other day.
Gee, that sounds familiar.
Yeah,
What's the difference
When did that
between-
happen? I forget when.
2 times.
The difference between Marvel and DC is at least half the people at DC care about producing comics
Yeah.
to be read by actual comic book readers
Yeah.
and not, blue-haired, morbidly obese, sexually questioning Twitter users.
Oh, but you can't tell
Marvel-
me you're not interested in the upcoming Sentry book where they kill the Sentry and then Shazam family, a whole bunch of characters.
Yeah, I'd rather have my teeth pulled with no Novocaine.
Ugh. Oh,
That's painful.
very. I've had
But
it
reading
done.
that,
I've had that
Marvel
once.
books might be
It
more
is.
painful. So
Yeah, it's
All
not a
right.
fun time.
all right, kids, who's going next?
I guess I can.
All right, Age Before Beauty.
Wow.
I'm neither, so
Don't take that from him, Geek Easy.
Yeah, don't. Wait,
Just
wait,
get me the hell off of the screen. I will.
Breen's like, why am I still here?
I'm
We're
done.
holding- we're
Which have,
holding it-
some
Let me
people might have been
go.
asking that question. Why is he still here to begin with? But Okay.
Wow, that was an evil
What
black
Jackson
cat.
Roykirk, he said. So Eric's finished, right?
I've been finished for a long time.
Okay, my 7 for this week. And this one I got because of Squirrel. Rage.
Foil cover.
Yeah, it's Vampirella Dracula Rage. Sort of like the
It's James
and
Owsley.
great cover. That's about it.
I saw Christopher Priest on there, and I said nope.
Yeah, and
If it's
I
not
stopped
indie,
reading
yeah.
the other stuff before a while ago, but this book right here, I guess it's like stuff that's going on in about like 2 or 3 different things. So they spend the whole issue basically having 2 people explain actions in other books of everything that's led up to that. I was just like, why am I reading this shit?
When I see Vampirella's son, I'm like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah, there's some stuff to that, but we won't. Yeah, this is a 1 and done, and it should have been a 0 and done.
Christopher Priest, when he writes indies, they suck. But if he writes for Marvel DC, he actually puts effort into it, I guess. That's what
But
I've
he's
noticed.
got all the Vampirella shit going on. He's in charge of that whole thing, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Dan Abbott. So I'm going to say Dan Abbott for Vampirella. If you want to read good Vampirella, Dan Abbott.
all right, so number, I guess, 6? Haunt You to the End, number 3.
Ooh, yes.
Don't know if you know about this, but it's global warming is real, and there's all this stuff going on, and they have to go out to the West Coast to check out a place that's supposed to be haunted, and it's so bad out there they have to wear, breathers and stuff, and so it's you can see this big wasteland of place, and they're checking out a hospital or something like that is haunted. First couple of books were pretty good, but it's just kind of doing the old start out strong, but
Yeah, I like the first two. I haven't read the third one yet.
But, so this is number 5 here. Survival, number 4.
Nice.
Takes place up here. Valdez. It's about a bunch of survivalists who are out in the woods. They're...
Oh, I read this one. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so...
It's vampires, isn't it?
Yeah. Pretty good. I need to go back and...
So when you're reading that, I gotta ask you, were you getting like 30 Days of Nights vibes?
Yeah, sort of. But at least he's got a little bit more accurate stuff. Because when I watched the movie of 30 Days of Night first, before I read the comics, and whoever wrote that movie has absolutely no idea about Alaska. Because, there's like a sheriff up there. And it's like, yeah, we don't have sheriffs up here at all. And they're like, the county of Barrow. It's like, no, we don't have counties. And just all sorts of stuff that the 5 minutes of Googling would have figured out how to, correct this stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good though. But I did get kind of a 30 Days of Night vibe. And then, number 4, Dominatrix, number 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's not going to come down to being one of the greatest comic book series ever. Not even close. But I mean, it's kind of fun. Just, a dominatrix who has to take a pill to get superpowers. I mean, come on. How bad is it? I mean, how that's kind of fun.
Isn't that most men over 40?
Huh? Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. Vank, I'm going to go ahead and check out now. I'll be listening, but I'm going to get back to cleaning.
All right.
So, see you guys next week.
fun.
If not sooner.
I expect before and after pictures.
Later, Breen.
Yeah, before and after.
I'll send you one. I already took one. I'll send it to Sports Ball. See you guys.
Bye, Breen.
Later, Breen.
Later, Breen. Yeah, most men over 40, but not me. But okay, then number 3. Wildcats, number 10. That's kind of fun. They're kind of playing a little loose with the original structure of the Wildcats and the Wildcats world. But it's enjoyable. I mean, one of my favorite characters is Grifter, and Voodoo's kind of cool and all that. So it's just fun seeing what is his name, Rosenberg, is doing with it, and it's entertaining. So I'm gonna keep up that one. And then number 2, Heat Seeker, number 2. Yep. What else is there to be said? We've talked about this one already from the other guys. but
It's a bit
very
cheeky.
enjoyable book. You open that, what do you call them? Where it's 2 pages. I don't want to say spreadsheet, but you you open it up and it's that nice little picture there. But yeah. Okay, and then my number 1, and of course, same thing as the other guy. I wasn't going to pick this up until I saw who wrote it. The Madness. Number 1.
Nice.
Written by JMS.
Very cool.
Very, very good book. It's he is, for comics, he is a name. If I see his name on it, I grab it.
He's got that new Captain America series coming out later this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick that up.
I'm kind of.
I'm not a big Captain America fan, but yeah.
I gotta say, he hasn't done an ongoing for Marvel since Thor.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything, I don't think, for Marvel for a long time.
I don't like Thor, so I didn't get it, and I'm contemplating getting the omnis of his Spider-Man run, just so I can, read his. I've heard some incredible things about his Spider-Man run, especially that one issue that everyone loves so much.
Well, Peter Parker versus Kingpin, and then putting Kingpin in his place for his men. That's probably the best thing that he did.
Yeah, part of his Back in Black storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Back in Black storyline was awesome.
All right.
And then the one where he got his marriage back. I mean, that's that's the one. But,
all right, sir. Any more?
I've got some back issues that I was going to show real quick.
Okay.
Wolverine 100, just because squirrel.
It's a self-insert variant.
Huh?
That's right. Yeah, you look in the cover and you see yourself. It's a self-insert.
Yes, which is kind of scary. Then I saw this just because I like the cover. It's a famous cover. Daredevil 184.
Nice.
Not in the best of shape, but I found this one, and it was only number 1. They don't have the rest of them, but Morning in America. I'll have to get the trade for that.
Interesting.
Then another one, which I already have asked my shop to get the rest of it with. Black Mist. This is in black and white, and it's really good. And then these I had to. See if I have the other one there. These I had to get just because. Preacher, the story of you know who.
It's that kid from the new guy.
Yes. It was written by Garth Ennis. And then Preacher Special One Man's War. Then this one it looks like it really had to be good. X-Men Wildcats Dark Age.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then Spartan Warrior Spirit 1, 2, 3, 4. And those were all in the back issues. So, and then Injustice number 1. Paid $4 for that. So I wanted to see what that was all about, and it was really good. But
it's a really good series. It's probably the best comic series based off a video game.
Yeah. Judge, I read this one, and it makes me want to maybe get the Omnibus. But
yeah, but remember what I said. You just be careful because there's a lot.
There's a lot of it. It went on for arguably a little too long.
Well, because the first game was what 2013, and pretty much it was a consistent run. I mean, it was just like
5 years,
2 years ago.
Yeah,
about 2 years ago, he did the year 0, and
then he did year. Yeah, he went back and did year 0. Yeah, where he butchered half the JSA.
I've got other stuff that I'm wanting to get first.
Some of the books are just out of print.
So if you get it, it's going to be like half a shelf, like encyclopedias.
Yeah,
there's other stuff that I want to get first. So it's just.
You're definitely like if you want to get them all, you're gonna have to collect out of order most likely and budget properly.
I knew they were getting. I knew they had gone through most of the canon when they started to bring in He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. That I was like, okay,
That's
y'all,
actually a really fun story, though. I'm not gonna
y'all,
lie. I actually
y'all,
collected
y'all
that
have
one.
y'all have gone through a lot of folks if this is where you're at.
Oh yeah. Well, I
All
mean,
right.
what was it? He even brought Injustice Superman into was the John Kent book.
Yep,
So-
John Kent went over to the Injustice universe.
See, that's how you beat the Injustice Superman if you hug it out.
right.
From what I heard.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true too. Yeah. Just
Yeah,
give
sure.
him a nice hug, and Injustice Superman is no more.
And then
He felt
drive your
loved.
arm through his chest like he did with the Joker in the first place. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, the Superman, the son of Superman, won't want to drive something through the other Injustice guy, but not his hand.
Boo, boo. Oh man, I didn't need that. Oh man.
Bad. Do I get a wrist slap for that one?
Yeah, just get
Gentlemen, who is going next?
I nominate Joe.
You nominate me? Okay.
I nominate
okay.
you.
Do you have
All
books
right.
this week, Joe?
Here's my nominations. I got Zip. I was supposed to have an Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 2 by now, but the first one came in damaged. So I went ahead and I sent it
No.
back. And the second one came in damaged. So I had to send it back again.
Dang.
Guess who sent it damaged both times?
Was it in stock trades or organic price books?
Amazon.
Oh. Amazon.
And I was actually on the phone with Amazon because by the second time I was so angry because I've pretty much developed a really big hate relationship with Amazon when it comes to ordering books, because over the last several years their packaging has gotten like worse and worse. Like the boxes have gotten like this, their cardboard boxes are super thin. They don't put any kind of protection like bubble wrap or anything around the books or anything like that. And when I was on talking with one of the people, they're like, oh yeah, we don't generally put bubble wrap or anything with books because, you know, it's we're trying to be environmentally friendly. And we're, you know, trying to reduce like, you know, emission or whatever. And I'm like on the phone with them thinking, but how does this make sense? Because you send me a book that's not protected. So because it's damaged, I now have to send it back. You have to send me another one and it's damaged again. So now I have to send it back again. That's 4 times. That's 4 different deliveries.
That's
more-
also
If you would
4
have just
different
packaged
plane
it
rides.
properly the first time, yeah, it's like if you would have just packaged it properly the first time, then we wouldn't be going through this ordeal. And then I was like, plus your policies dictate that whenever I return a book, I have to package it properly. I have to use bubble wrap. I have to use a good box, but
Yeah.
you do not. So,
Yep.
you know, so that's kind of the thing. So I finally, what is it? I took yesterday. I reordered Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus 2 from In Stock Trades because I know they can actually package their books, and I'm done with Amazon. I'm just tired of them ordering books. You try to get a deal, and they screw you.
That's how it goes.
Yep. So that's where I'm
At this point,
Okay.
I would just get it somewhere else if you can.
Oh
Can't
yeah,
believe
I'm done with Amazon at this point. I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt, tried something different, but it just didn't work out.
After the second one, I'd be like, nope, shame on me.
Yep, that's exactly how I felt about it.
First one's on you. First one's on them. Second one's on you.
That
Yep.
is true. Yep.
That's how it goes. All right. I do not have a top 5. I have a top 3. I have 7 books, but I can't. Like top 5 is too many, but I do have top 3 that were like mind-blowingly good. I thought. But starting at the bottom of the barrel, we do have Night Terrors. This is issue number 3, third part of the story, with starring Deadman and Sandman, and not Batman so much because this Deadman just inhabiting his body. But we do get Robin in this. Damian
Which
Wayne.
one?
Damian Wayne.
Oh.
They're all the big thing was like, well, how is he still awake? And they actually go through and explain it. They explain how he's got all these different meditation techniques and everything. And then he also talks to Deadman. He's like, how do you know that? How can you see me if I'm not in Batman's body? He's like, I've had a lot of recent experience with possession and stuff and spirits.
And plot armor.
Well, I mean, even Mark Waid's Batman versus Robin, there was where he was being possessed by the devil Nazar. But yeah, this was an all right issue. Not my favorite one. They had some cool stuff in here. Deadman is kind of being used a little bit like Deadpool at the start. It's kind of amusing. It's not like throughout the whole book, but I'm like, you guys are trying to make Deadman Deadpool a little bit, and I don't like that too much. All right, number 6, I think. Yeah, the world's finest Teen Titans. I had to get this one. My shop did not get the Riley Rossmo cover, which was sad times for me.
What?
Oh, I'm
But-
sorry. That's your loss.
I don't care. I still got a Chris Samney cover. I'm gonna be the different guy. I know Breen and I know URDV. You were about it. I really like it.
I thought it was well. Like I said, I thought it was pretty well.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it at all.
I know, but you hate the smartphones. You
That's
technological
the
foes.
thing. It's like if they took that out and put it
I like
back
the
in like in the 80s or the 70s, you know, like
I disagree. I don't mind it.
that's why I
don't-
said it's like Ultimate Spider-Man. It grows on you after a while.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
like
so
what they
does
did
herpes
with,
though, but that doesn't mean you want to.
I liked what they did with Aqualad. I thought that some of the stuff was really cool, like when they show him wearing his like normal clothes and it's all like weirdly colored, and he's like, "I dress brightly so people can see me underwater." Like I thought there's some clever stuff written in here. And then I did like to see Lilith and Narc, and then Mal too. Some of the like early partial Titans. I did so. Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this issue. Maybe even a little bit more than the first one. All right, next one I have. I got some variant covers too, so I did go a little over my budget this week. This is Avengers number 4. Floating heads, man. Floating heads.
Quote your boy, Mark.
Gotta
Brooks.
go.
Gotta go with floating heads, man.
Look, Mark Brooks, he's a jerk, but he does some beautiful artwork though. And I like the leather jacket lineup of Avengers here. This one was pretty good. So I thought what was going to happen was in the last issue when the Avengers split up to go fight these different villains. I thought that it was going to be, okay, this issue is going to be this fight. This issue is this fight. They actually did it a little bit more efficiently, which I appreciated. You get 3 villains fighting 3 Avengers one-on-one here. You see Thor, Iron Man, and Scarlet Witch. And they're all written pretty well. Tony Stark is in that stealth armor that's going on in the Iron Man series that you're reading right now. I don't think he's going to be changing out of that anytime soon.
No, it's because that's his armor that he created.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they
so
always
I
do
don't
that.
think
Remember he had the black.
they're not going to switch him over to like just the plain red and gold.
No,
anytime
you
soon.
remember
I
he
think
had
it's
the
gonna
black
follow
and gold
with
one
the-
for a while.
Yeah, I hated the black and gold. But yeah, and then Thor's back in his normal classic Thor costume, like the sleeveless one with like the high boots, the high yellow boots. So I kind of like that. But yeah, they have some really cool, some interesting villains, some cool fights in here. Scarlet Witch might get possessed by Chthon again. I'm not sure. But yeah, really good. Jed McKay's doing pretty good with his Avengers run so far. It's not up to Moon Knight's level yet, but it hasn't let me down yet.
I mean, anything other than Jason Aaron is a step up.
That's also true. I mean, look, let's be real. Jeff Johns, as much as I love him, his Avengers run is leaps and bounds beyond.
And I think
Jason
anybody other than Kelly Thompson who writes Carol, Carol actually becomes more of a likable character.
Although Kelly did do that good Black Widow series.
Yeah, I'm with
You
LK
do
though.
that.
It may not have been her.
Ghost Rider.
Remains to be seen. By the way, we talk a lot about Moon Knight being the only good series at Marvel right now, but I think there is another. There is a second one that I think is worthy of recognition, and that is the Guardians of the Galaxy by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly. This is the Todd Knock variant cover, because I gotta support Todd Knock. This was a really good one. I really enjoyed this issue. It doesn't get a whole lot into how Groot Fall came to be, but it does show Rocket, getting back together with the Guardians, and we find a little bit more like Mantis apparently has this magic dress now, which I thought was kind of a cool development for her. Some of it felt like reading through part of like one of the James Gunn movies, some of the dialogue, but overall I really enjoyed this. It looks the ending of it has a little cliffhanger. If you haven't read this yet, I won't spoil it. But I really enjoyed it, though. Jackson
Yeah.
Lanza and Colin Kelly they're doing good
You
with it.
bring
I
Rock-
like this better than their Captain America series, actually.
As
like
I said earlier in my review, I said you bring Rocket Raccoon, and the book went up tremendously in my
Yeah.
favor.
Rocket, and then stuff with Star-Lord. Drax, I think, was written really well in this one. Gamora. Nebula was kind of in the backseat, but all the characters that were written, I think, did really good. So, all right. We're in the top 3 now. These are the 3 books. I read through these, man. I had a blast. I was excited.
Number 3 is Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern.
Incorrect, sir. Would you like to try again? I'll
It's
give you
Super-
2 more guesses.
It's Superman.
Incorrect again. You get 1 more guess.
The Flash.
Let's see. It was the Honey.
No, I did not read The Flash. It is Night Terror's Zatanna. This is part 2.
That's right. Yeah, that's the other Zatanna book you're getting.
This
there.
is.
And you got it upside down, it looks like.
Nope. This is the Riley Rossmo cover. She is upside down, drowning in a puddle of something with the rest of the Justice League. I did get a Riley Rossmo cover this week. It's this one.
She's on a source ball.
Yeah, see? Because the play is backwards, like she's saying help. This has been... this is really fun. Zatanna and Robot Man teaming up. I know Batman and Superman World's Finest is great, but if they do a Zatanna Robot Man World's Finest, I will be on that. Sticky on rice. It is that good. It is that entertaining. To have, Robot Man, who's just the Thing but metal. He just wants to punch stuff. And then Zatanna, who does magic, and Robot Man hates magic because he's a robot. The art is really good. I enjoyed the art in here. Basically what happens is the Sleepless Nights, I think they're called, they corrupt Robot Man into being one of them. And so they're all hunting Zatanna because they want to corrupt Zatanna. She's one of the few people that's able to stay awake during this whole event. So they want to corrupt her, turn her to evil. And they almost have her, but she's remembering this lesson that her dad taught her when he was still alive, and she's able to overcome these villains, and she changes Robot Man back, and they beat up, they end up retreating, but they end up, starting to make a comeback. And yeah, this has been just a ton of fun. I can't recommend this one. This is one I would not have guessed would be.
So I want to venture to say that in the second issue of all these books or these things, that the heroes are now overcoming the nightmares.
And part 2, yeah, that seems to be a trend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm noticing. Except in this one, they're not stuck in a nightmare. This is happening. No, even in part 1, because Zatanna and Robot Man were 2 of the few people that didn't fall asleep. They were still awake.
You know who wouldn't be falling asleep? Would be Tim Drake, because that guy drinks a lot of coffee.
Nobody wants to read Tim Drake anymore, though.
Well, no, I'm saying old school, the real Tim Drake.
Okay.
Real Tim Drake. Okay.
Tim Drake. He also he drank.
Real Tim Drake. There you go. Got to specify.
All right, number 2 book this week. Man, it's hard. Even I want to give these both the number 1 spot because they're both just so darn good. We got Jeremy Adams on Night Terror's Green Lantern number 2. He's only been writing Green Lantern for a month, y'all. This is only his 4th issue, and this is the best book I've read. I feel like this beats some of his Flash books. This was just fun. There's some of the best dialogue that I've read since Jeff Johns' era with Green Lantern Rebirth. There's some really, really good stuff in here. And if there's going to be any villain that wins or packs a punch fighting against a guy who's supposedly thrives on fear, it's got to be Hal, right? He's the man without fear because willpower beats fear. Man, this was just dynamite. I had a blast reading this. Just a ton of fun. Hal Jordan just is kicking ass again. It was so good. Whew, I want to go read it again. And then the other number 1, or you can say the real number 1 since it's my last book. But it is the Superman Annual 2023 Annual. I had a blast reading this. This was a lot of fun. Not having Jamal Campbell on art didn't hurt it as much as I thought it would. The replacement artists they had were all really solid, I thought. But I like kind of the multifaceted, like the multiple threads that got laid throughout this. You don't see a whole lot of Superman. It does mostly revolve around the different writers for the Daily Planet. Lois kind of, I like at the beginning, they show like, okay, this is Kat Grant. She writes gossip or entertainment. Steve Lombard does sport, and they show like all the different fields. But to shake things up, she sends people on assignments that aren't in their wheelhouse. So like Cat Grant goes on a crime, like on a cop ride along, and Steve Lombard gets sent to interview Livewire in prison. Uh, so it's very different, but it was a lot of fun to read. The stuff with Parasite was cool. The stuff with Livewire I thought was pretty interesting. Just all around, just a good little, and it's not like main stuff that you necessarily need in the main story that Williamson's writing. It's good material for an annual though. Lois is investigating all this stuff from Metropolis's early days. Apparently there's like missing information on Lex Luthor that she's digging into. So yeah, just a really really fun book. Definitely worth the price for the annual. So just had a blast reading through that. And then like Toyman was like, you still see Superman fighting Toyman, and then there's like ramifications from that. And then we talked about Lobo earlier. There's just a ton of fun stuff to dig into here. So, but that is it. Those are my books for this week. Man, I was excited. I'm glad I didn't skip out on the Night Terror Green Lantern because I was this close to jumping on the no Night Terror stuff, and I'm glad I stuck with it. Man, that was a blast.
I probably will read it online or borrow your copy or whatever. I don't care.
Bro, that Green Lantern issue, you should be paying Jeremy Adams for that.
I'm trying to cut back on books. So Night Terrors, that's my question. Does it tie into anything that's going on with the main story?
It does end up. It does go back to where they were before. Yeah, it does end up.
But
back
it doesn't
on
advance it though, right?
No. They're still on the plane. What he does, because the pilot's asleep, so he does take control of the plane. It's actually really cool. Like the last page, what you see him do with the airplane is pretty cool. But yeah, I highly recommend getting it.
Okay.
It was a blast. There's a really great line in here. He's talking about like when he confronts insomnia, and he's like, I'm showing you your greatest fear. And he's like, Kilowog used to say fear was, God, I can't remember the acronym, but it was like factless or something. I don't remember what it was, but it was really, really good. It really resonated and stood out. I got to go find it.
Honestly, that's the thing. We say Ed Brubaker's on a book. I'm getting that way with Jeremy Adams too. I mean, I just skipped on this because it's not part of the main story. And I was burned out. I didn't future state. I learned my lesson.
Here you go. He says, my friend Kilowog told me that fear stands for false evidence appearing real. And I just thought, dude, that just sounded like a really cool, like, that hit me. And I was like, man, this is Jeremy Adams. The way he got Wally West, he gets Hal Jordan. Just like the way he writes him. It's that Tom Cruise, Han Solo, just like swagger.
Hey, guys, I got to bounce.
All right.
Have fun. I would walk. It's safer. But, if your walls can take it, go ahead.
Yep, they definitely can. Trampoline walls or something.
All right, Joe. Take it easy, man. Yeah, but the Night Terror's Green Lantern ended up being a blast. Absolutely worth the price of admission.
That's good to hear. Maybe they'll release those 2 issues as a trade.
They'll probably do like a whole collection.
Yeah, all the
best of tie-ins.
Here's I'm the best of the tie-ins. Invincible did that.
Of tie-ins?
Yeah, of all the tie-in books, all the side books, they came out.
I have a feeling they're probably just going to do what they did with Blackest Night and just do.
Yeah, because I have the hardcover, the Blackest Night, the main story.
Yeah,
and then there's like the Green Lantern Corps Blackest Night. I know they have a few other tie-ins that they did.
So,
but they have
you should read it. You should read it though, Vic-Man, and then Ash, if you're in the chat, you should read it. There's a scene in there.
Maybe we'll discuss it.
Or I thought of Ash's namesake. I'll leave it at that.
I only have one back issue that I need to show off that I got this week. Some of you may have read it, and some of you may have been around when it came out.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Nice.
Yep. Saw it on there. At first, I'm like, is that a faded cover? Because I'm so used to Engelteen's auction. I love comics. He's got all these books that are faded. I'm like, oh, it looks kind of faded. Then I realized, oh, it's underwater. That's why it looks that way. But it's Roy Thomas on one story, and then you have Stan Lee on the other. Because you got a Hulk and a Submariner story. Issue number 98.
I like the blue. The blue.
Yeah, I was. Like I said, I'm just so happy because I've been trying to get some more older back issues, but are in my price range.
Mhm.
So,
That's the tricky part in the price range.
and yeah, I mean, I like.
That's pretty good condition. Yeah.
Yeah. That's Stan Lee and Marie Severin doing the art on there. What? A female working at Marvel? Back in the early 60s?
Say it ain't so. I thought it only started with Heather Antos.
Hey, look, original ads.
What is with you and ads? Like, you open up a facsimile, the first thing you go to is the ads.
You don't like ads?
I'm indifferent to them. I don't really care for them that much. I mean, no, you know why? Because where ads are, the story could be.
Who's that chick from the Hunger Games?
Jennifer Lawrence?
Is Heather Antos the Jennifer Lawrence of comics?
Yeah, well, yeah, you know how like Jennifer Lawrence was the first female action star. Heather Antos is the first female comic.
Right, yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jennifer Lawrence is going to play her in her biography because a woman has never played an editor in a movie before.
Well, thank God that we have Jennifer Lawrence, the 8th grade dropout, to lecture us on how to believe things.
To be fair, there's a lot of people that are your age that are 8th grade dropouts too.
No,
we don't sit there. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to get into it.
I mean, Jennifer Lawrence doesn't shit in people's beds that we know of, so she's already.
What's up?
Yeah, she's okay. She doesn't poop in people's beds.
She looked darn good in those X-Men movies too.
It just makes you how many celebrities. You wonder how many celebrities are crazy like her and poop in beds.
I'm sure there's at least 2/3.
If there's just one, there's more than
a couple
that.
of them I'd like to find out, like Kate Beckinsale. I bet you. Bet you she's a wild one.
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Is that George of the Jungle?
Yep,
Like
George of the Jungle. Yeah, ABC. This book came out in 1967.
Damn.
Yep, you had King Kong, the Beatles cartoon. Nope.
George of the Jungle.
Let's see, 4, Amazing Spider-Man. So
Here come the 4.
Hey, wait a minute! They actually had a Fantastic Four with the Thing cartoon.
Yeah.
Because the only one I remember is the one where it was the Fantastic Three and then the robot.
Yeah. 1967. So yeah. Yes, and as he points out, there's a reason why I chose it, because it's got puppet power.
Puppet power.
If you don't like ads, though, I mean, you're in the wrong business, because I mean these are the good ads.
I didn't say I didn't like them, but they take up I just don't like.
I would rather see something like this than see an ad for a Jason Aaron book. Okay.
How about no ads though?
Well, then
you have to get like the Boone Studio books for that.
Yeah, so I think back in the day, didn't people pay to put ads in there?
Yeah, well, that's today. Today, people pay to put ads.
No, they don't. It's just Marvel putting their own ads in.
Well, they used to.
Back then, I think it was other people actually putting their own stuff in.
Yeah, they used to do like the Got Milk ads and video games and.
Used to be.
And the X-ray specs.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like even as far as the early 2000s, you would see stuff like cars and watches. Even actually, I think you might still see
the Norman Rockwell school. For people who like to draw. So Like I said, I mean, I'd rather have ads back then. They're actually fun. Yeah, like I said, if you want no ads, it's like having Hulu with no ads. They're gonna charge you more,
That's true.
and you'll have less story because you take rid of the ad. That's that's smaller
you're-
book,
But the
but you pay more.
But the ads on Hulu do serve a purpose, though. You can get up and go to the bathroom and not miss out on any of the show you're watching.
90 seconds.
That's what the pause button is for.
Yeah, 2 minutes. If your bathroom's right there, so Hulu already. Yeah, that's why I don't pay for Hulu. I just mooch off the person who does.
Netflix now. I was looking in Canada. I talked about this last time. I know Mr. Canadian guy that was in here earlier. If you're still here, Canadian something. So Netflix was rolling out this trial period where they're going to start charging people for basic Netflix with a limited catalog for $8 a month, but you have ads.
It wouldn't bother me.
And then if you want the normal,
Now the catalog bit is the interesting one. Like how much does that limit what you can watch?
I don't know, but if you want full access and with no ads, that is $16 to $18 around there.
Well, what if
I just dropped it. I was paying around 16 something just for the normal normal price here because I'm still have Netflix. I never dropped it here, and I'm not in Canada, but so they were charging me $8 for the rental fee if you want to rent a DVD all the time, unlimited. So it's just you pay $8 a month extra. Finally dropped it because I was like, you know what? Most of the DVDs they have on here are stuff that eventually comes to Netflix through the instant anyway. So
yeah, I'm thinking about dropping Netflix. Can't remember the last thing that I watched on Netflix.
I can't drop it. I'm rewatching all the NCIS episodes. I have a lot
Leroy
Jethro Gibbs. Yep.
Hey, you know what the second B stands for?
Leroy Jethro.
Bastard.
Oh, the B.
They asked, she said, and Kate asked, is it GIBS? And they said, no, GIBBS. She says, what's the second B for? And Gibbs comes up and says, bastard. And keeps walking.
I'm well past that part. Kate's dead and gone.
Yeah.
I'm well past
I love that show. I've got a whole bunch of the seasons right behind me.
Nice. So yeah, I'm sticking with that. I need to get on Apple TV again. I need to finish watching Ted Lasso. Actually, I hadn't even started the third.
You gotta watch Fraggle Rock. Apparently, it's on there.
I'm not gonna watch Fraggle Rock. No.
I'm not talking about the new. I'm talking about the new one. Not even the original. The original is better.
And then I don't pay for Disney Plus, and I don't pay for Hulu, which works.
And I'll say this: any service you're paying for that includes ads in it, just watch on your PC. If you have big enough PC monitor, you can use ad block and skip all the ads.
I'm trying to remember if I have Peacock or Paramount. I think I have Paramount.
I do that.
I have Tubi. Peacock. I have Paramount. I have Netflix. I have Prime. I've just got too much.
Yeah.
So when I was using my sister's Hulu account, she has the cheapy one, so you get the ads in there. And I watch it through my 27-inch monitor. It's like having a TV.
Oh yeah, you can do ad blocker. The ad blockers.
And I don't get no ads. That's what I'm saying. It's probably the best bet to go if you really don't want to spend that much money. Go for the basic Hulu and just watch on your PC monitor. They do sell bigger. If you want a bigger PC monitor, it's the Sony Brista, I think they called, or Bravias.
I need to make sure I have Peacock still because I need to have it to watch the Continental show.
Well, you all that Peacock and you're not watching wrestling? Oh, what's wrong with you?
I don't watch wrestling. I want to watch the John Wick show.
the last I guess they don't call it a pay-per-view anymore, but SummerSlam, that was not good.
Nice, Rhaegar. Yeah, my sister pays for it, but I mooch off of her. But then she also gets to mooch off my Netflix. So.
All right, guys. We've been going for almost 2 hours here, holding strong at 13 double digits. It's always great to see more than 3 people watching.
And I'm not even one of them. I didn't even open another window. Oh, I did, but I closed it.
Yes, the puppets always demand that we run this little tagline at the bottom here. It's like this: If you haven't already done so, please click like, subscribe as well if you haven't done that either. Click the bell, make sure you get all the notifications so you never miss. And then, YouTube likes to do this where you get the notification half an hour into the stream. So what I would suggest is check out
Ring the bell. If you ring the bell, you get a notification. Like I get a notification 30 minutes before a stream.
Usually, yes.
So
but even if you don't, you can always click on the live tab on YouTube here on our page here, and I usually have everything scheduled what's coming up. You'll see, and it'll list the time. So that's always fun. If you want to help us out, you can go to Ko-Fi.com, donate $1 or more, and on the Ko-Fi.com/Pup Scene right there on the bottom. What that does is it helps pay for basically everything we do here. StreamYard, which is a monthly fee, and also pays for the Marvel and the DC reading apps we use for readings, which are on Fridays and Sundays.
And the beer.
Wow, there's not enough money. We need more people to donate for beer money. But cool thing is that we're doing this. If you donate at least $1, you can choose the next reading.
Just one.
Or the retrospective. Usually we do retrospectives on Fridays, but lately I haven't been doing them because, I like to have more than 2 people. And also I'm also running everything behind the scenes too, because with Pixel is pretty much just shows up. Hi guys. I want to go back to that so much. I want to be Zach. I just show up and just leave.
I've been here for almost 2 hours. What do you
No, I'm just saying, you show up for one thing and then you're like, that's my time for the channel. I'm done.
Well, I mean, I've got
somebody else does that as well. I can't know.
So many plates that I spent.
Too many to choose from. Hello to Imperial Goddess. If you aren't following Imperial Goddess over on Twitch, you are doing yourself a disservice. She plays a lot of cool stuff. Currently she is playing. She just finished up Assassin's Creed. I think it was the Brotherhood.
Is that the third one?
The third one.
The third one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I like that one.
This is her channel.
You should play the pirate one next, Imperial. If you play the pirate one, I will watch every stream, and then I'll just.
And it's great to see Nolan North voicing a character other than Uncharted.
Wait, who does he voice in? He doesn't voice that Ezio.
He's the main guy. The kid.
He's
Ezio.
The main guy. Oh, the modern
Desmond.
guy. Okay, Desmond. I forgot about him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then he towards the end of the third one, he's got hands like a gibbon. He's climbing everything, using everything he learned. So it's the pirate. Yes, the pirate is next. Always love.
Yes, King of the Pirates.
So I believe she's currently live right now. So we're gonna be ending here. If you want to go watch her play video games or on Twitch, it's free to do so. And if you like ads, they have ads too. If you're not a subscriber. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. As I said, check out Imperial Goddess, and then tune in tomorrow night around 7 p.m. or around 7:15 p.m. Central. We're gonna do our first reading and then the second reading as well. All right, guys. Have fun. Thank you for showing up.
See you guys later.
Good
Go
night.
get that Green Lantern book.